Dear Diary, today will be different.
To celebrate Halloween,
What are you?
I'm a vampire.
Warner TV cordially invites you
Hello, brother.
to a feeding frenzy.
I'm freaking hungry.
Every episode of Season 1, back to back.
I promised you an eternity of misery. I'm just keeping my word.
Stay away from Elena.
I take that as an invitation.
The Vampire Diaries Marathon, coming soon, only on Warner TV.
18 years in, he's worked everything from vice to narcotics. 3 years ago, he just disappears right off the face of the planet.
When you are this deep undercover,
I run a special unit, deep cover, independent of standard departmental jurisdiction. No one knows about us.
it's not just a job,
We're about perception, or more accurately, deception.
it's not a career.
I see the guy in need of his next fix. I see the mother who just lost her son in a drive-by. I see everything that needs to be fixed. I can teach you to see that way, too.
It becomes your whole life.
You start spending more time as a thief than you do as yourself. Sooner or later, you're gonna forget what parts of you cover and what parts of you.
And you can lose it in an instant.
Guys like this don't just fade quietly into the twilight.
LA's a big place with lots of bad people.
It's all about catching that bad guy.
Yeah. It is.
Dark Blue, next, only on Warner TV.
I got a job for you. High priority.
On the next Person of Interest,
Teresa Whitaker should be right here.
We're looking for a ghost.
If the girl's number has come up, she must be alive. The police only see what they choose to look for. The machine sees almost everything.
sometimes the dead
This was a professional hit. And you know that how?
should just stay buried.
I know what happened to you and your family.
No one's gonna hurt you again.
You really shouldn't lie to kids.
Person of Interest, Thursday at 10.
This is not my home. This is not a fantasy. This is not my life.
On the season premiere of Fringe,
What's your name?
if the world you know is gone,
They've done experiments on me. They're trying to convince me that I'm someone that I'm not.
and there is no way home,
I know I sound insane.
A little bit.
Well, I'm not insane. I'm not who they say I am.
Where are we going?
They're taking me home.
you have very little left to lose. Fringe, next Thursday at 9, only on Warner TV. On the next Fringe,
I don't think this woman can die.
when you've got nothing to lose,
This woman lost her entire family. She's been trying to move on. She's been trying to stow away on the souls of the recently dead. She's gonna try something new.
You think she's trying to increase her chances of making it to the afterlife by killing us up with a group of people?
there isn't anything you won't try.
This is not the solution.
Fringe, next Thursday at 9, only on Warner TV.
I am not your son. She is not my mother. I want to go home.
On the next Fringe,
He is in such distress. I'm just trying to keep him alive.
The children are the key. Children should be able to cross over and take Peter safely home.
it's so much harder to go home
My name's Peter. And Olivia.
once you've found someone worth staying for.
The beguiling Olivia Dunham beguiles.
Fringe, tonight at 9, only on Warner TV. On the next Fringe,
There isn't a single bone left in this man's body.
revenge is in the air,
Why would anyone kill a scientist? What did we ever do?
Really?
This is a joke?
and it's being dispensed with a rage.
I believe this is military.
U.S. military?
It was a weapons project. 3 men carried out live field tests.
That cuts to the bone. Fringe, next, only on Warner TV. On the next Fringe,
Oh, that's it! Strike me down!
the hour is now.
You have no idea how extraordinary you are.
I know that you want to believe in me, but believing doesn't make it true.
Only one piece is missing
Peter, I love you.
before it all begins.
Good God.
Fringe, next, only on Warner TV.
When two clueless geeks
New neighbor?
Oh, hi.
meet the knockout next door,
Just some quantum mechanics with a little string theory doodling around the edges.
Wow.
I have a board. If you like boards, this is my board.
their opposite worlds collide.
That woman in there's not going to have sex with you,
I'm a male and she's a female.
but not of the same species.
It's the Big Bang Theory.
Our babies will be smart and beautiful.
Not to mention imaginary.
The Big Bang Theory, next, only on Warner TV.
Only on Warner TV. On the next Closer.
Ty, I want to find out who did this to you. Ty?
When the code on the street.
This guy's wearing Army dog tags.
These men are soldiers.
Threatens national security.
The shooting was a terrorist attack.
And everything about these murders says gangs.
Major, it's pretty clear.
You cannot start a war with the Army here.
It's time to break the rules.
What just happened?
You said I didn't kill nobody.
I lied.
The Closer. Next. Only on Warner TV.
On the next Mentalist.
The man who killed my wife is still out there, but everyone in town thinks I'm the killer.
Everybody stay where they are!
Taking the law into your own hands isn't easy.
I want a new investigation into my wife's death, and I want the real killer found.
Walking away alive.
They're gonna come in, you know.
I don't even know why I'm listening to you.
I will tell you who murdered your wife in 20 minutes.
Is nearly impossible. The Mentalist. Next Tuesday at 10. Only on Warner TV. On the next Mentalist.
This man is a sociopath. He should have been in prison.
He was. New DNA tested him free.
When bad things happen to evil men,
23 people threatened his life.
finding a motive isn't hard.
He murdered my wife.
I was curious to hear how you did it.
I didn't kill Henry Dahl.
Uh-oh.
What?
He's telling the truth.
But finding the truth takes a special man.
It is time to unmask the shooter.
The Mentalist. Tuesday at 10. Only on Warner TV. On the next Mentalist.
It's another body.
Twice the mental power.
Dr. Montague is consulting on the case.
Oh.
Means twice as many theories.
This is classic caveman.
This isn't the caveman.
So you say.
I got a dollar that says the same thing.
You're on.
What is it?
What the hell?
Oh.
It's from the caveman.
And double the risk.
Oh! That's blood. The profiler lady was wearing that brooch.
Lisbon, I need your help.
The Mentalist. Next. Only on Warner TV. On the next Mentalist.
This is the holding cell where Johnson was burned alive.
Infamous cop killer Todd Johnson.
Dangerous accusations.
Did you know this man?
Lance Howard.
If you were having an affair with one of Johnson's victims, you had motive.
Could either ruin a career.
Did you set Todd Johnson on fire?
Or uncover a deadly vigilante.
Stand back or he dies.
The Mentalist. Tuesday at 10. Only on Warner TV.
All right, you know why we're here. So if you have any doubts or reservations, now's the time to say so. No one will think any less of you. Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out. This family comes before everything else. Everything. Before your wife, and your children, and your mother, and your father. It's a thing of honor. You stay within the family.
Is this heaven? Yeah, man. Welcome to the afterlife.
Are they ready?
Standing by in the OR.
In the heroic struggle
I can't feel anything.
Okay, don't worry. We're going to take good care of you.
between life and death,
No pressure, no pulse.
maintaining your sanity
You're crazy.
Well, then I'll fit right in.
is only one requirement of the job.
I don't want to die.
Then you should fight. I can't believe you.
Wow.
ER.
I feel totally better.
No matter how many lives they save,
Sometimes things happen that we have no control of. No! Bad things.
I lost my wife, and I'm fighting to keep my son.
Hey, we all get our confidence rattled.
the decisions they make never become easy.
Believe me, you could do a lot more harm playing it safe. So we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
And the outcome is always uncertain.
We just have to wait
For what?
to see if he lives.
First learn the rules, then learn when to break them.
Where is my son?
Sometimes being a doctor is about distancing yourself from your patient.
Ready?
Every time.
Why don't you shot me? I won't.
ER. In the struggle
Why are you doing this?
Because I know what it's like to need help when you least want it.
between life
What are you going to do?
What am I gonna do, call the cops on my grandmother? You have what's called Scheidreger syndrome.
and death,
Is it going to kill me?
Most people die within 10 years.
every day
You know I used to have a crush on you.
Used to?
is a new challenge. ER.
We just got married.
Why? How could you take him away from me?
Just when you thought.
Monica's pregnant?
You've seen it all.
I am with child.
Didn't see that coming.
Rachel's really the one who's pregnant?
Who's the father?
It's James Brolin.
How did you know that?
It just gets better.
I know who the father is.
Rachel Green, will you marry me?
What? What?
On an all-new season.
So happy.
Hey, no, I'm not freaked out.
Oh, make it stop.
No.
Make it stop.
No.
Of Friends.
We've got a situation.
It is the highest level of office,
It's the world capital of politics.
where the decisions made affect an entire nation.
Terrible choices have had to be made in this room.
Watch the brightest minds as they tackle a nation's biggest issues.
They're coming after us.
We might want the fight. We just got to find out what it is first.
I tried is no longer an option. You started this thing, and you're gonna damn well finish it.
I'm the one who's accountable.
Mr. President, a victory like this comes along once in a generation.
We're gonna have to make a call. Democracy in action, you gotta love it.
The West Wing.
Just tell me who you really are. Cop, Fed.
First rule, you never break off communication. Rules, your rules are gonna get me a bullet in the head.
It was an FBI agent, the guy you left for dead, Dean.
So what was I supposed to do, break my cover? They have you on video dumping the body!
It's a dark, edgy show that takes you inside a world that none of us have ever been a part of, or at least most viewers haven't been part of, by an elite unit of undercover cops who work outside the police department.
I run a special unit, deep cover, independent of standard departmental jurisdiction. That means no one knows about us.
These characters will immerse themselves within that world and become part of that world. And each time that world will leave a mark on them.
What these characters have to do in order to be effective as undercover police officers is so damaging. It's going to twist them inside and out. It's going to really shape who they may ultimately become.
I didn't sign on to be a hired killer. For $5 million, you'll be whatever I tell you to be.
The character of Carter is very much a loner, and I think that everybody's sort of not sure about him. You know what I mean? They call him weird, or they call him the Prince of Darkness.
He's here.
Who?
The Prince of Darkness is inside.
I'm putting you back in play.
I was just in 3 weeks Long Beach. I need some time off.
We're on a clock.
This is a lot to do alone.
Get started.
Who is Ty? Ty is too many people. Ty could be labeled bipolar. Ty is a newlywed. He's trying to balance out the life of going under a lot, being asked to do that and balance out the home life at the same time. Now lay back, this won't take long.
No, I can't. I can't. Besides, I don't like having sex with you while you're under. You sort of feel like a stranger to me.
Sounds sexy.
Not to me.
Jamie is able to hold her own when she's in the field with the guys. Please, don't move! Don't move! Down! I said down!
Don't move!
She can fire the weapons as fast. She can change her mags as fast. She can do everything that they can do.
I learned to get by.
Oh, I could see that.
Very nasty, nasty crowd you were running with.
He's been in the unit about 8 years. When you meet Dean, you know, Carter's become over those 8 years, I think, a father figure, a mentor, and they both love doing their jobs. You know, their ends are the same, their means are a little different, but they bump heads in a really great way.
Did you know how screwed up she was when you brought her into the unit?
She has talent.
You didn't bring her in because she's talented. You knew somebody that bent and that desperate would do anything for you.
When did you get so fragile?
These characters are dark and interesting and damaged because they see so much chaos and evil around them. These officers who have to get in with the criminals have to live the life of a criminal. You'd have to come home to their families and try to be normal. It's a very difficult existence.
Well, certainly when you attach Jerry Bruckheimer's name to anything, you have to really take it seriously because he is the most successful producer in the history of television and movies.
And it feels like a film set. To see the well-oiled Bruckheimer machine, it's a tremendous thing.
We've put a lot of effort into raising the bar visually and dynamically.
It's very cinematic and it's very beautiful, and the stories are told beautifully.
It's a very edgy show. It's got a lot of great action.
This is what it's all about, because it's a fantasy. It's a dream. Black car, shotgun, blasting away, winning the day.
It's all about catching that bad guy, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Dark Blue, only on Warner TV.
Fringe is a show that I developed with Alex Kurtzman and Bob Orsi, and it's sort of my favorite show because it takes all these things that I love and sort of wraps them into a package that I can't wait to see, which is essentially the idea of that weird gray area where reality and science fiction meet. Essentially, the premise of Fringe is that things are happening in the world, very strange, often very scary, bizarre things. And this young female government agent, identifies this correlation between these events and the work of this professor who existed sort of like a great modern day kind of Frankenstein, who is doing all sorts of incredibly strange things, who's been institutionalized for the last 15 years. And she goes to get him out and can't. And in order to get him out, has to go and find his son, basically to be a guardian. And this sort of unlikely threesome become this force that begin to fight and hopefully solve the mysteries of these very strange goings-on. My favorite stories are those that have very strange connectivity underneath the surface, meaning things have a certain appearance, and as the story unfolds, you realize that a lot of what you assumed was true turns out to be, quite different. And the fun of Fringe is that the ideas that Bob and Alex and I had about what the story would be, what the series would be, actually started in a place where this show is eventually going to go. Meaning we realized the kind of story we wanted to tell, but thought, you know what, if we're going to do this, we have to really earn it, because it's insane. A lot of it's crazy. And so we realized that the backstory needed to build to it so that we actually felt like it was something that could exist. I think the thing that will be most appealing about Fringe, for me at least, it's very witty and I think very smart characters and very relatable characters. I think you watch them and you think, oh, I know those people, those are my friends, those are me, I know them. Or I want to know them because, they get along or they have very specific kind of, I think, amusingly contentious relationships. And they're facing, every week, some of the most insane stuff you've ever seen, and yet they're reacting to it the way you and I would. So there isn't that kind of confusion factor I've felt and often been responsible for in certain things I've worked on, where the mythology is so deep that there's no way to get in. Meaning that, every week these characters can be responding, often, at least, one of the characters, in a way that is you or me. And that to me is always, the kind of the basis for a great story, which is an ordinary, relatable person in an absolutely insane and extraordinary situation. And that to me is like a ride I can't wait to take every week.